As the great Shaquille O'Neal once said, are you not entertained? Welcome on into Marky Picks, guys. If you tailed yesterday's slip, you would wake up to 6 for 6 cash, the first 6 for 6, technically the first 6 for 6 cash on the channel. If you've been rocking with me since the beginning, you know we've been chasing this since the channel started. We've been really smashing at a high hit rate every single, we had a really strong run that, beginning of the channel. We were hitting at like over 80%, and I do nothing but drop 6 picks every day, so that's a very high hit percentage. I don't think anybody on YouTube is doing this at, giving away free picks, this many free picks, and hitting at the hit rate that I am. But that's what I'm doing for you guys. If you know over the last week you've been tailing these slips, you probably lost faith in me. But I just knew it was only a matter of time. You can't keep me down forever. So we finally came through. Big time win. We needed it. I needed it. Very, very desperation was setting in. But we were able to get it done. And this was like one of the most craziest slips, one of the craziest sweats that I've ever been a part of in doing PrizePicks. So just before I recap this slip, this craziness slip, if you tailed yesterday's slip, drop a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already, because what are you doing? I'm giving you free wins every single day, all backed by my personal projections. So if you're not already subscribed, and if you didn't like this video already, take a second and do that. It really helps me out a ton. Really helps get these picks out to more people, so more people can take advantage of these free wins. But yeah, that's gonna do it there. But let's go ahead and recap this craziness slip, the craziest slips I've ever had. Let's just go down the list here. I mean, on the hitter side, George Springer went back to the well yesterday. We've now cashed in on him 2 days in a row. He's been really consistent for us. Yeah, I don't usually like taking hitters, but I limited slate. Sometimes I just gotta get out of my comfort zone, and sometimes you gotta do that, and that ends up winning you some money. So it won me some more money tonight. He only got one hit again. I mean, this line is only 1.5, so I mean, he just needed the RBI double, and I think he scored the run as well. So in that one inning, and he didn't do anything the rest of the game. So I mean, that's all you got to do if you're a hitter. You don't have to do much, but that's why it's so random. But next up, we took Shohei Ohtani. I think this was probably like a pick that people were probably not fond of, considering he's done nothing in the playoffs. But being the best player in the world, to have a struggle that he's had, it's only a matter of time before he breaks out of it. And he did it right in his first at bat of the game. It wasn't the prettiest swing. He just flucked his bat out there and it hooked it down the line. He was able to get a triple out of it. And once again, hitters, that's how random it can be, because he didn't do anything the rest of the game. So, I'm glad we were able to hit that early. So that took care of the first two. And then on to the craziness of football today. Aaron Rodgers, man, if you guys watched that game, you already know what happened. Let's just jump right into it at the end. I mean, it's fourth quarter. Aaron Rodgers at like 176 passing yards. And he's on that 2-minute drive to go give his team the lead. He gets like a first pass for like 10 yards. So I'm like, okay, good. I just need like 30 more yards and cash the line. But there was a holding penalty which moved him back, so it was like 2nd and 20. So it's looking a little bleak at this moment. But Aaron Rodgers, he was able to find a little hole over the middle, and it was a big touchdown pass. I forgot who even caught the pass. I think it was Freiermuth. I can't remember. It was just such a crazy night for me. I'm not even mentally here right now. The amount of sweat that I had to go through. But yeah, he was able to get a big touchdown play. I mean, just so unexpected. And that was easily cashed the line because we just needed 40 yards, and that was like a 60 or 70 yard touchdown pass. So I was jumping up and down right when he did that. It was crazy, but much needed, because he was the last leg after. I'll talk about Dominic Richardson's fiasco here in a second. But Ja'Marr Chase, what did I say in yesterday's video? If you watch my analysis, I don't do this analysis for no reason. I give you all the best analysis that I can, that I can predict what's going to happen. And I told you, Joe Flacco's a competent quarterback. He's not. Ja'Marr Chase doesn't have to worry about Jake Browning back there throwing passes anymore. So, in this game, Ja'Marr Chase, he just went off. So, really nothing you can say. I mean, he was just cooking Jalen Ramsey. Really, whoever corner they threw out there, they were keep giving him these easy boundary throws. And Flacco, he's a veteran quarterback. He's going to see that and just keep on exploiting it. So, he racked up a ton of catches, ton of targets, ton of yards. And he hit this pretty much in the first half. He had like 61 in the first half, so pretty much solid over there. And I told you he was my favorite pick of the slip, and he showed why. Anthony Smith, another one. If you watched my analysis yesterday, he's the number one wide receiver, and he's a big play threat. He only got 4 catches in this game, but he had 2 60-plus yard touchdown passes. So that's all you really need. That's all you really needed for this. You only needed one of those really, but he got 2 just for the fun of it. And this guy right here, Dominic Richardson, he was one of my favorite picks on this slip. But if you guys had this pick and you were following along through the game, it was not looking good at all. Wow, it was looking terrible. So I think at the half, he had like 10 carries, I think, for like, I think it was like 7 carries for like 23 yards, which was, not too bad. He's kind of on average, but he probably still needed a little bit of a chunk run in the second half. But considering that the score was like 31-14 at the half, I believe, or 31-17, you'd think that they wouldn't be running the ball. But once again, what did I say yesterday? Richardson is the motor of this offense. He's going to get his volume, even if they're getting blown out or if they're winning. He's going to continue to get his volume and his touches. But what do you know? The first drive of the second half, we're going to need a big explosive play, right? So the first possession that Tulsa had on offense, he had like a 2-yard run, and then it was like 4th and 2. They were in East Carolina's territory, and it was 4th and 2, so they went for it. And he got like blown up in the backfield and lost 5 yards. So he went all the way down from like 26 yards to 21 to 20, I think, just on that play. And he had like 10 carries at that point. And I was like, okay, yep, that's probably the end of this pick, the end of the slip, the end of my night. Another frustrating night. We're gonna end up missing by 1. But as the game kept going on, I mean, Tulsa was hanging in there. Like East Carolina should have easily ran away with this game and like blew them out. But they just kept letting Tulsa in the game because East Carolina was not capitalizing on offense. So it came down to the fourth quarter. I think he got some runs. He had like 13 to 14 carries, I believe, for like 37 yards, right? All right, so I was doing the math right there. I was like, okay, there's like 8 minutes left in the game, right? So I'm like, they're down by like 2 touchdowns. You wouldn't think they'd be running the ball, right? That's what I was thinking. But I was remaining optimistic. I was like, they're gonna end up finding a way to run the ball. I'm hoping they will. I mean, usually I'd be a little upset at this point, like I would have no faith. But for some reason, I remain optimistic because, Richardson, he was due for like a big run. He hasn't had one all game, and they were able to get him like a 13-yard run on a pitch play, which at this point it was like 3 minutes left in the game, but it was like a little pitch play off to the left. He was able to break free finally, which he couldn't do all game. I knew East Carolina's defense was pretty strong, but they were a little bit stronger than I was expecting in this game. But in the fourth quarter, they went to like a little bit of a prevent kind of defense and softened up. And then they just give Dominic Richardson the ball. Again, that pitch play got 13 yards, so I put him at like 50. So now I'm really sweating right here because there's like 3 minutes left in the game. They're in like the red zone area. They're like the 15-yard line. I just need like 4 yards and I'm cashing. So they do give him the ball one more time, and he's able to get 10 yards, and I was just like, yes, It's very, very, very much needed. I was not expecting this to cash because usually in that situation they would not hand the ball off. But again, Richardson is like their motor that makes the team go. He's like, he's going to be getting his touches, so they just kept giving him the ball, and he was able to get this line, the line that looked so bad throughout this game. But he came through where it's late, and it secured the 6 for 6. But I got 6 more plays for you guys today. We got some college football and some MLB. I like these picks today as well. So is it improbable to go 6 for 6 back-to-back days? Probably a little bit, but I'm still remaining optimistic that we can get it done. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into today's slip. And the first pick, we're going right back to the familiarity from yesterday. 3 days in a row, we're taking George Springer over for 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. I got him at 1.95. There's no really point to go away from him. I mean, yeah, is he due for a bad game? Sure, but he's been just really a solid pick for us here over the last couple days. I'm gonna keep riding the streak until it burns us. Do I have any insight on this pick? Maybe a little bit. We got Bryce. He's facing Bryce Miller here. And Springer, if you don't remember, in game 1 of this series, he faced Bryce Miller, and he had a home run off him. So if he does that again, that'll be more than enough to clear his line. But I just think Springer continues to be a solid factor in this lineup, and I think he can easily get over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. His Mariners bullpen is starting to get hit pretty good as well, and this should be another bullpen game, so I think this is another solid over. I'm going to keep going right back to the well until it kills us. Again, second pick here, we're going right back to the well. Shohei Ohtani over his pitcher fantasy score this time, and I got him projected at 35.56. I think this line does jump up, okay? I don't know. I think this line's a little bit too low. If this line does go up to like 34, 35, I probably wouldn't play it because I do think Shohei goes 6 innings in this game, and I think he allows less than 3 earned runs, which will give him the quality start bonus points, which I haven't projected here. So if he doesn't get a quality start, that would knock the 35 to like 31. So we're hoping Shohei can get through 6 innings. It's game 4. They're up 3-0 in the series. I think Shohei is going to go out there and just dominate. He's had plenty of time to rest as well. I think his last time he pitched was like 2 weeks ago in Philly, so in game 1 of that series. And he didn't do terrible in that game. He went like 6 innings, pretty much. I think he went 6 innings. He did give up like 3 runs, but that's still quality start territory. I just love this matchup. The Brewers are dead. The Brewers are going to be amped for this game because you're not going to beat the Dodgers 4 times in a row. If the Brewers do win today, they'll lose tomorrow. I don't expect this series to go back to Milwaukee at all. I called the series to go 4 games, and Shohei's going to end it tonight. So we're going right back to the well with the 2 guys that killed it for us yesterday. We're going right back to the well today. Jumping into college football now, we got C.J. Daniels under 49.5 receiving yards. I got him at 44.8. Got Miami taking on Louisville here. Miami, big home favorites, I believe they're at home. They're like 13.5 point favorites, so 2 touchdown favorites. I think this line is going to drop down. I really do. I think this line drops down to 45.5, I want to say. I think that's where this line should be at. If it does drop down, I probably would pick something else or just leave it off the slip and just go with like a smaller slip with these picks. But getting it at 49.5, I think is a great value. I wouldn't say it's my favorite pick, but I think it's a very, very strong pick. Indeed, because this game is going to play. It might play fast. It could play either way. It could play fast or it could play slow. I think if Louisville wants to win, they're going to have to play a little bit slower than they usually want to. And I think that limits some chances to throw the ball through the air. I was going to take Carson Beck's passing yards under, but it was a little bit too tight for me. And I think the wide receiver here, C.J. Daniels, while he's not really the biggest volume threat on Miami's wideouts, I think he doesn't see that much volume in this game. But I think he gets around 40 yards. So it might be tight, it might be a sweat, but we're hoping that we get to the third, fourth quarter when Miami's leading big, and they'll just end up feeding Mark Fletcher to close out the game. So that's what we're hoping for here with that pick. So jumping into pick number 4, we got Jamison Gears under 21.5 receiving yards. I got him at 13.9. Got Nebraska taking on Minnesota here. Now this one is a little bit suspicious, I would say. I was gonna take some other unders on Minnesota, like was it Drake Lindsey's passing yards, but his line started to drop more. Like I wanted him to take his under at 208.5 passing yards, but when I was about to lock in a slip, it jumped down to 205.5. So I'm starting to lose some of the value I was liking with that. I was also looking at Darius Taylor under 64.5 rushing yards. But I do think Minnesota's going to have success through the ground in this game. They are at home, so they usually like to run the ball more at home anyway. And Nebraska has a very strong pass defense. That's why I'm taking the under here. And Gears isn't a guy that's going to rack up a ton of volume. I'm only getting him like 2 catches for about 13.9 yards, so that's what I have him projected for today. I don't think he gets many touches. But that's why I'm suspicious about it, because Nebraska doesn't give big plays down the field. So, and Gears is a tight end, so Minnesota might very well get their tight ends more involved in this game, like little short passes. That's the only reason I'm a little skeptical of this pick, but definitely not my favorite one on the slip. But I think it's some great value anyways. But jumping to pick number 5 now, almost done here. Braden Pegan over 74.5 receiving yards. I got him at 91. So this is my favorite pick of the slip. You got Utah State taking on San Jose State. It's supposed to be points galore in this game. I think the total is like 61.5, and I believe Utah State's favored by 2.5 points, so we're expecting both teams to be really in the 30s in points. And both these defenses are bad. I just think there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game in general. I know San Jose State's quarterback is questionable, Walker Egan. I don't know if that will affect anything, but I'm hoping the game stays at least competitive. And Braden Pegan, this Utah State roster has a lot of very good wide receivers that can get big wide receiver plays. But Braden Pegan, I think, is number one on this roster. He gets the most yards so far. While he might not rack up the most amount of catches, he's going to make his presence felt in this game, either on a big play touchdown or he's going to end up getting a ton of volume for yards. Utah State's going to find a way to get him involved in this game, and I think he just has just a crazy day. I think his line's just a little bit too low. I think his line should be up in about 78.5. I do think his line jumps, so hopefully y'all get this in before it jumps. But again, one of my favorite plays is a slip. I'll be playing him on every slip that I play today. Jumping into the last pick of the slip here, we're taking Tron Grizzell over 60.5 receiving yards. I got him at 81.9. At California taking on North Carolina in the late night college football game. California is 8.5-point favorites. And this North Carolina team, I don't know what's going on with them. I mean, Bill Belichick, there's a lot of rumors going around like he's going to step down. He doesn't know what he's doing in college. I don't know. I just think he needs time to get his recruits in and see how it goes from there. But California is a pretty solid team. They got some youngsters that are pretty solid. Tron Grizzell is one of them. And North Carolina's defense is not the best, especially when it comes to passing. I think the only risk here is if the game script doesn't favor it, but I actually expect this game to be a little competitive for a little bit. So I think Tron Grizzell is going to have plenty of chances to get some big play passes. He's going to get around 4 to 5 catches in this game, at least. He can easily get like 7 to 8. So I like this pick here. So lock me in there to end out today's slip. And that's going to do it for today's slip, guys. If you enjoyed it, once again, smash the like and subscribe button. Really helps me out a ton. Gets these videos out to more people that need them. Can we go back to back 6 for 6? I mean, that would be really something. I don't think anybody on YouTube ever can post back to back 6 for 6s. Most I see people do is go for like 2 to 4 picks. They don't be giving out 6. I'm giving out 6 every single day. And hey, why not? Why not go back to back 6 for 6s? Do I think this slip is one of my favorite slips? I don't think that. But I do think we got some great value here. My top 2 picks, I think, on this slip are going to be Braden Pegan over his receiving yards, and I think I'll probably pair him up with Tron Grizzell or Shohei Ohtani. I'd probably actually do Pegan and Ohtani just because I feel more confident about those two. Unless their lines change, I'd probably go to something else. But they're my top 3, I would say, picks on this slip. And the rest are kind of a little bit suspect. But that's gonna do for this video, guys. If we can get this video up to, say, 20 likes, Saturday tomorrow, time of recording, so Saturday, I'll be posting those extra bonus picks that y'all have been wanting for. So if you guys want that, you know what to do. Go ahead and smash that like button. Giving out these free wins every single day help me out a ton to get these videos out to more people. So that's going to do for this video, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.